Staying in your head, you're dead. Staying in your head, you're dead because you're spending so much time in your head, which means you're wasting your use. You're being useless. I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm just keeping it real with you because I'm gonna tell you something. And I'm also gonna tell you how God be working. How God be working. I was just in my head, in my feelings, to the point where when I get like that, I'll allow myself like 30 minutes to an hour to just be. And when I was just being, I was in my head, and I was just in my head, and I was in my head, and I was thinking. And I was like, man, Blossom, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? What is the solution? Because you just in your head being useless, wasting time. What are you gonna do about it? And the answer, every time I ask myself this question, the answer is always everything. I gotta do everything about it. I gotta do something. But I would like to do everything about it. I would like to do everything. What am I gonna do about it? I have to do everything. And I was just sitting there. I was just like, I was laying there. I was laying on my couch because I was just feeling some type of way because I'm going through what I'm going through and trying to go through the motions, but it's just like, I can't go through the motions. I can't just lay there. I can't just stay there because I have to find the solution. What are you going to do about it? Everything. If you in your head too long, you're dead. If you in your head, you dead. And like, clearly not like, but I mean, if you're not being useful, if you're not trying to find a solution, then you're wasting the potential. You're wasting the skills that you already do have. Staying in your head, you're dead. And not necessarily you're dead, but your ideas are dead. Your emotion is dead. Your creativity is dead because it's just in your head. Come on, that's a bar. You just in your head. If you in your head, you dead. Your creativity is dead. Your emotion is dead. Your like everything. What is it serving? What is it serving? What is it doing? As I was laying on the couch and I was in my feelings, I was like, Blossom, you gotta get up. You gotta get up. You gotta get up. You gotta get up. So I grabbed my phone. I went on Instagram. This one lady, she had a question. She said, please give me any advice. Random. I was like, and I commented, I think she's training for High Rocks. She was like, please give me, she said, give me words of wisdom. She's training. I think she's training for High Rocks. Anyway, I replied, mind you, I'm wallowing. I'm laying there in my head, being useless. I grabbed my phone, go on Instagram. She said, is there any words of wisdom? I said, you are already prepared. I said, you are already prepared. You have the skills. You already won. It is done. You just got to do the action to get to where you're going. Mind you, I'm just laying there I'm just laying there just in my head, like emotions all over the place. Like I'm just like this whole like month, I just be like, man, I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure it out. I don't know. I gotta do, and I'm saying this all in my head. I'm just trying to brainstorm so many ways to figure it out. It's just like, how much brainstorming you gonna do? You gotta go do the action. I'm in my head like, okay, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do this. What if I'm gonna be in my head like that? I need to be writing out a plan and sticking to the plan. I was just in my head. I was just in my head until I wasn't. I was just in my head like maybe 10 minutes ago when I allowed myself to just be there. And I'm like, parts of me felt like, okay, I'm gonna go lay down and take a nap. I'm not even tired. I'm like, let me take a nap to make the excuse. I'm taking a nap to make the excuse so I don't have to think about it. So I don't have to think about it for 2 seconds, because if I think about it, I'm gonna be in my head when I need to be in the action. Because when you in your head, you dead. Your creativity is dead. Your emotion is dead. Your skills is dead. Everything that you prepared for, everything, your preparation, all the things that you learned, it's dying. And when you in your head, you dead. So I was just laying there. And I was laying there. I'm like, man, blocks. Like you gotta get up. You gotta get up. You gotta get up. You gotta get up. Like if you gonna be in your head, you need to write out a plan. And then I said to myself, well, I'm not the best planner. I'm not the best planner. I'm really not. And it's just like, okay, has that been working for you? Honestly, it's been working, but chaotically. It's been working, but chaotically. So I have to think to myself, I'm like, okay, I am very chaotic. It works. It be working. It be working, but it be working like, oh, last minute, put something together and it worked. But sometimes I think to myself, like, if I would have planned better and stuck to the plan, I bet it would have not only worked, but soared. Not only worked, but explored within the experience. Not only worked, but inspired even more than it's already inspired if I would have created a plan and stuck to it besides just being in my head. Like this is how my mind be. Dang, I have this to do, I have this to do, I have this to do. I'm gonna do it later. I end up doing it. But it's like I be ruminating in this delay. Just ruminating in this delay. Just in the delay. Knowing that I'm going to do it, but it's just like I'm in this delay, which means I'm wasting time. I'm in this delay, which means I'm wasting time. It's like if I would have just did the action instead of ruminating in my mind, I'm pretty sure in a lot of areas in my life, I probably would be a lot further. So within me knowing that, a lot of people say when you know better, you do better. That's not always the case. But in this case, since I know better, I have to do better or I'm not going to feel right in here. When I was laying down, I didn't feel right in here. and I am so thankful to God because when I get like that, I have to pull myself back up. I have to pull myself back out. It causes me to do things like this and put out more videos, put out more content because I just learned and I just had the exploration in my mind that I gotta come up with the solutions. I gotta write out a plan. I got my notebook right here, and the thing about it, within my chaos, I do create. So, when you're in your head, certain things die, but it's only a certain amount for me personally that like I'm just gonna be in my head so much. Like I know that I'm going to create. So within, if y'all are in your head and y'all are how I was trying to figure out things, trying to figure out like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, and just being in your head, the best thing you can do in that situation is create something. Figure out something to sell, like something. So I always make sure that I do something today. So I'm in prep for bodybuilding. So I did my cardio today. I did my workout. I hit that goal. I do acting on the side. So I sent my audition, which I appreciated because it allowed me to be creative and in a space that I wouldn't normally be. Like I got to show some emotions. I got to show some craze. I got to show all these things. So that is what I did today, along with like doing some work. And then now I'm like, what time is it? I'm about to go on a walk in a few. So within me being in my head, me personally, I'm also doing things that is going to help me elevate and blossom and seeing things clearly. And the person I'm going on this walk with later, she came to one of my blooming spaces and she seems really bright, really wise. So really, I'd be putting myself in positions and situations so I can be a better student and be coachable, because my goal in the future is to coach others. So within that, I have to be coachable. But before even all that, you got to get up out your head. And that's the things that I'm doing. I'm getting up out my head. So my goal, before I even go see my friend and go on this walk, I'm going to write out a plan. Because when you in your head, when you in your head, you dead. When you're in your head, you're dead. So I don't want my creativity and my skills and all that to die. So I'm going to create a plan. So I'm going to call this the Blossom Plan. because the things that's going on within my life right now, I'm in such of a transition because I'm in bodybuilding, because like, you know, certain things are happening with my job, because I am learning and I'm growing and I'm expanding. Everything needs to reflect that. So certain old habits, they got me to a point thus far, but it's not the old habits is not going to get me to where I need to blossom to. So I have to create a blossom plan, because certain old habits, yeah, they worked for the time being. But that time is up. So get out of your head and you need to create a plan. When I look, and this plan that I'm creating right now, it's going to be so rough. I already know it's going to be so rough. It's going to be so rough, but it's going to give me a certain outline so I can continue to blossom my life. Because if I don't, I'm going to continue to move through this world within so much chaos. Even though it has served me in my past, it truly has. Oh my goodness, it has. Maybe knowingly right now it's not. So I have to get up out my head. Certain old habits, it can't work no more, because I want so much more and so much better for my life. I want to blossom up even higher, even more. So certain things I used to do, I can't do how I used to do no more, because I'm growing and evolving and developing. And certain like certain keys, when you're entering new doors, because that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm entering new doors, just like many of you are entering new doors. You're entering new doors. So within these new doors, they have new locks. This is my retwist clip, but we're going to pretend it's a key. You trying to open the door with the same lock that when you already moved to a different house. This is a different facility. This is a different transitioning opening, and you trying to use the old key to open this new door, and you wondering why it's not opening. You wondering why you're sitting there like, why is it not fitting? Why is it not working? Because that key doesn't serve that door. The key that doesn't serve that door. So as I was sitting here in my mind, oh my goodness, I was in my mind, I was in my head. When you in your head, you dead. I could feel like my creativity, my skills not being of use. I was being useless because I was in my head. And when you in your head, certain things start to decrease, which means certain things are essentially dying. So you got to get out your head and create. Like I said, I'm creating my blossom plan because I've lived in chaos my whole life. And again, it has served me decently, but it's not going to serve me to where I'm going. And that has been one of the most toughest things to grasp. And that's another reason why I was wallowing in my head, because I'm like, okay, like I have to learn a new way. When this way it's been exciting, I'm so spontaneous, I'm so this, I'm so that, I'm so, in a way, structureless. But the structureless has paved the way, but it has only paved the way so much, and the way has cut right here, and it's just like, okay, now it's time for a new direction. Like even within me being in transition for bodybuilding, like I am now at a point within me prepping these meals, saying no to sweets, saying no to chips. I haven't had sweets in months. I haven't had chips in months. Like everything is in transition. So certain things in this era of my life I can't do. And even if I wanted to have sweets or wanted to have chips, is it essential for the plan of me, prayerfully and potentially, wanting to win and elevating and sculpting the body? Is it essential to the plan right now? The answer is no. So within me creating my blossom plan, as you can see, there's nothing down but blossom plan, because when I finish this video, I have to create a plan. I'm going to create a plan before I go handle what I need to do for the rest of the day. And I have to stick to it. And just like I stick to my goals and my word when it comes to bodybuilding, when it comes to You know, like making sure that I get to the gym, a non-negotiable. So right now, this Blossom plan is a non-negotiable. So when you in your head, you did, so you need to get out of it so you can create your non-negotiables. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Create your non-negotiables. Like, look, the ways, if you, really quick, I had a blooming space. I have blooming spaces. My name is Blossom. I have blooming spaces. The blooming spaces consist of me talking about self-love, self-growth, planting seeds so you can blossom into the greatest version of yourself. One of the questions that I asked within the blooming space, I asked, who are you? And I asked that question because so many times people try to tell us who we are and who we are not. So we need to set the tone for who we are. So who I am is a person who was blossoming, who was forever developing, and who was forever growing. So that is why I am Blossom. And then the other question that I asked was, the seeds that you planted thus far, when you look around at your life, the seeds that you planted thus far, has it replenished you? Has it served you? And if so, what ways has it served you thus far? And would you like to plant new seeds? Because I'm in the space of planting new seeds to elevate my garden, because my garden, if you look at my garden, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. It served a season of chaos. My garden is a beautiful garden of chaos. It is a beautiful garden of chaos. And if that chaos had a little bit of structure, a little bit more of a Blossom plan, I think that it will be able to replenish me a little bit better, because I have the tomato, I have the garden with it's the flowers, and it's mixed in with the tomato, which is then mixed in with the grapes, and then and then like I'm going to the garden, and I'm going through the garden, and I'm like, oh, I'm like going through the garden, and this is a grape, and this is a tomato, and this is a strawberry, and it's like, the grapes should probably be over here. The strawberries should probably be over here, because now I'm just going through the garden, and it's taking me a little bit more time. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful, but it's so chaotic, and it doesn't have a plan, and it doesn't have structure. So get out of your head. Get out of your head so you can be of use and create a plan. So that's what I'm about to go do, because I have to keep my word and be on time to where I'm going. So I have to be diligent in making my plan and sticking to the plan. So that's what we're going to do. And that's all I want to say to y'all, but keep that in mind. Keep that in mind and continue to blossom, because I had to, oh my goodness, I felt, in mind you, I'm in bodybuilding, so I'm dropping weight. I felt so heavy pulling myself up out that couch today, because I was just heavy, and I was like, nah, what you gonna do about it? I said, the answer gotta be everything. It has to be everything, because otherwise I'm gonna be laying on this couch. So that's all I want to say to y'all. I got to go so I can keep my word and do exactly what I said I'm going to do. So that's all I want to say to y'all. So Blossom outie.